matter, I know that God has something greater in store for me. God has something wonderful at the end of this particular battle. It will cause you now to go into fights you didn't think you could go into. In Luke chapter 17, there was these 10 lepers. They came to Jesus and they said, hey, will you make us whole? And here's, let me give you the background now. Only the priest at the time could put his hands on somebody and declare them to be whole. And although Jesus came to be the high priest, he was not yet crucified and raised, so he did not want to take the place of the priest. He said, hey, here's what y'all do. Go to the priest and allow him to inspect you and declare you whole. Now, as the boys walked away from Jesus on the way to the temple, I said before they got to the temple, they were 100% whole. I said on the way, Sister Melisha, he had not laid hands on them because it wasn't his time to act like priests in Jerusalem. So he didn't lay hands on them. He said, here's what you do. Go to the temple and let the priest inspect you. And so what he did was on the way now, as they were obedient to the voice of Jesus, they received a healing because of their obedience. Brother Jarvis, they were not in the presence of the Lord. They were not in the presence of a king. Nobody took them to the king. Nobody laid them at the cross. Nobody left them there alone. I said they were on their way. They were out of his sight. They were not in the presence of Jesus, but they were obedient to what he said. And it was out of their obedience that they were made whole. Come in, Naaman. I got another leper. Naaman now was down because he was a leper. And so Elijah heard it. And Elijah now, the messenger of God, he who stands in the position of God, he heard that this happened to Naaman. He said, do me a favor, go get Naaman and tell him to tell me what's wrong. The messenger sent messages back and forth, and now he finally told him, Naaman, go wash in the river Jordan. Jordan was not the ocean. Jordan was not a man-made pond. Jordan was dirty. I'm talking about the Catawba, y'all. Jordan was dirty. Jordan was a place that nobody wanted to go dip into. And Naaman said, hold up now. I'm a man of stature. I got money. I got people that I can do what I want when I want. And you want me to go get naked and jump in this river so somebody can put me on YouTube? You must think I'm a fool. I am not going into that river. And his servant said to him, listen, if he told you to do something wonderful and spectacular, you would have done it. So why not go and do something as simple as dipping 7 times in the Jordan? And so Naaman, now listening to his messengers, went in. And the Bible tells us now that after he dipped and came up, that he lost every leprous sore on his body. He was not, Brother Jarvis, in the presence of the Lord. Nobody took him to the king. Nobody laid him at his feet. And nobody left him there alone. He was obedient to what the Lord told him to do. I want to let you know that obedience now is better than sacrifice. Obedience now will cause things to happen in your life that you never thought could happen. So you be like the leper. If you got a leper's place in your finances, be obedient to the Lord. If you got a leper's place in your marriage, be obedient to the is better than sacrifice. So now, obedience causes us to go into battles and to do what the Lord said to do. Battles we thought we couldn't win, obedience causes us to go there. One of the things, though, about obedience